It's been kicking off in the last few days on the Bethesda Twitter account, with numerous unexplained images which are leading to mass speculation, which we're going to take a little dive into today. Just remember, the key word of this video is speculation. Before we start, if there's anything I missed or any theories you have, please leave them in the comments below for me and others to check out. It all started with what seemed like a leak from Walmart Canada, who added a bunch of placeholder items onto their website for games that currently have not been announced. Although there were quite a few, we will still focus on one in particular, that being Rage 2. An image of an Xbox One game box with the words Rage 2 written on a black background. Soon after, the official account for the Rage game tweeted a photo of this item with a large A painted pink on the image, which is almost identical to the A found in the initial Rage 1 logo. They also corrected a few other things about the box art. Now usually, if a game does get accidentally leaked, publishers and game creators will completely ignore it or attempt to sweep it under the rug. But not this time. On top of this, Bethesda actually retweeted the image from the Rage Twitter account, so straight away, this looks like Rage 2 may possibly be coming. Moving on to the second image. Bethesda tweeted out an image of Big Ben, a large clock tower in London with the time 5:14 displayed, as well as a pink smear across part of the clock. Yes, they used pink paint again. The largest theory behind this image is that there will be an announcement on the 14th of May, which is this coming Monday. Following this, an image of a rocket ship taking off was tweeted with the numbers 5-14 displayed on it, again leading into the theory that something will be announced on that date. The clouds, smoke, and parts of the rocket are also once again coloured pink, which people still seem unsure where the pink theme fits in. The only speculation that I've seen is that it may be related to Bethesda's E3 theme for this year. This rocket image is also causing multiple ideas to arise of which game it is related to. Some people believe that the rocket may be related to the elusive Starfield trademark that we've been hearing about, as people believe that Bethesda may be working on a game called Starfield, and of course, a rocket ship would fit into this. Another theory is a new DLC for Prey, as the official Prey Twitter account has been teasing new content. The last, most common theory is once again Rage 2, as Rage's intro was related to an asteroid from space hitting Earth, but I've personally never played Rage, so I can't really comment on this. The next image tweeted was a picture of, from what I can gather, Shibuya Crossing in Japan. This crossing is also once again covered in pink paint. The most interesting thing that stands out to me in this image is in the center of the crossing, there is two lines that appear to be tire or burn marks that look like they mean the number 2, possibly in Roman numerals, which again leads heavily into the Rage 2 theory, but it could also be a sequel to any amount of other games. The other thing that stands out is the light in the top right hand corner of the image, which seems to be shining onto a few different cars. Now this could be something specific or just sunlight coming through the surrounding buildings on the image. One last thing that may be coincidence, but I highly doubt it. When counting the people on the image, it appears that there are exactly 5 people in the center square and 14 in the triangles that lie adjacent to the crossings, which again gives us the 14th of May numbers. Far out, there's a lot to talk about. Okay, next up is this image where we see Harry Potter entering a building. This is not actually Harry Potter, and it is not important, but what is important is the character behind him, who, as you can see, doesn't fit into the scene. Most people have compared her very closely to enemies that can be found in the original Rage game, especially her goggles. One other important factor is that on the door of the building, we can see the A from the Rage logo once again with the words Anarchy Tours written on top. From what I can tell, Anarchy Edition was a bonus content pack for the original Rage game, but I'm not sure if Anarchy has any other specific meaning. One last thing is that the girl in the image has a tattoo on her neck that says Goons, which will be relevant to the next image. They also seem to have done away with the pink colour scheme in this image. In the next image, we see another slightly out of place individual, who is again covered in tattoos, who bears a tattoo that says Goon Squad, which seems to mean that the girl from the previous image and this guy are both a part of the Goon Squad. They also seem to have removed the pink theme from this image as well. Other than that, there doesn't seem to be too much more to this image, but maybe I'm missing something. The last image we currently have from the Bethesda official Twitter account, as of recording this video, is of a taxi that has been graffitied with pink paint. On the taxi, from left to right, there is what appears to be a flame with the words "Eat this" written inside it. Then we have what looks like a Pokeball, obviously it's not unless Bethesda are collaborating with Nintendo. A hand with the number 14 written inside, which again gives us that 514 number, as hands have 5 fingers in case you do not have a hand. And last but not least, we have a face. This image also heavily seems to take place in the city of New York. Now this may not be true, but all signs seem to point to it. Then, when we jump into the background, we can see another rather out of place individual stumbling in the background with a bat over his shoulder, who appears to be similarly dressed to the other 2 characters from the previous images. We also see a roadwork sign that says Road Reopens 514, and by now you already understand the significance of those numbers. Finally, we see a crossing light with a character who appears to be wearing some sort of hat or headdress and wielding a weapon or scepter. The last tweet I will mention in this video is from the marketing lead of Bethesda, Pete Hines, who tweeted, "We have a lot to show you this year. Might be our longest E3 showcase ever. Not sure, but it's packed." Now this leads into comments I have seen on almost every one of these posts. Basically, people saying that there is no way there would be all this hype and craziness for Rage 2 alone, since the first game didn't do spectacularly well. Now as I've said, I've never played Rage 1, and the people that have seem to be pretty hyped for Rage 2. But it seems as if Bethesda has multiple large projects planned for this E3, with many people speculating that the images are representative of multiple games. Personally, I think we are definitely getting Rage 2, which will be Monday's announcement, as well as a mobile game, which will likely relate to their big release, which will most likely be a AAA game from Bethesda Game Studios themselves. Possibly Starfield, maybe even a new Fallout or Elder Scrolls game. Now obviously those 2 are quite a bit less likely, but you never know. And I also have a slight suspicion that we may receive something along the lines of a Fallout 3 remake or remaster, which would be amazing. So, far out, that was a lot to cover, and there is definitely informational clues that I have missed, but I covered what I could with my limited knowledge. Now I'm sure there will be more images released in the coming hours, days, or whatever, and on Monday, hopefully we get to see what's actually happening. But again, if you guys have any other ideas or suggestions, let me know in the comments below, and I recommend staying keen.